What's up, everybody? Episode 36 here. Getting some more work done on the race car. Making a mess with some metal. Got some plates in the car. It's a good time. So, where we left off is we had our Tin Soldier low prep brackets on the bench laid out. We had welded the doublers on after we cleaned them up, and that's kind of where we left off. So Tin Soldier posted a video on basically how they set up 4-link brackets in the back of a car, and basically all of it was the same as what I thought and knew. And I seen one thing though that I was like, man, that'll make my life easier. So I went and bought some threaded rod. So I got some half 13 threaded rod. That threaded rod is again half 13, and I got it from Menards. A 10-foot stick of it was like 15 bucks. And on McMaster-Carr, it was like $20 or something crazy for 2 foot. I don't remember what it was, but it was just so much more. Way cheaper getting it at Menards. Once I got it set up, I was able to take that threaded rod and I cut it into 2-foot sections, so 24 inches. And I picked up just some cheap nuts for it. And you run it through your 4-link bolt holes, and then you can get your spacing perfectly, okay? So with that spacing perfectly, I got my 20 inches on center, which is the same as the rear end. And then it kind of just sits in here. I got my mock-up drive shaft in here with just a little piece of metal to keep it at the right height. I got it just zip tied through one of the little bracket holes around. So these 4-link plates are notched for my 1 5/8" #1 bar. And then I also got my aluminum shims that hold it at 0.755, so a couple thou bigger than the Heim joint. The same aluminum spacers I used for the axle, okay? So I got 4 of those, 2 on the upper and 2 on the lower. And then I got the 1/2-inch threaded rod holding it exactly parallel and separated at the same distance. I got it sitting at, oh, I think I touched if I touch this because of the tape ball, it lowers. But basically, I just move this. There we go. I just move this around until it gets to 90. I can't do it one-handed, but it was at 90 before I leaned on this bar. I do have a 3D printed puck my buddy's doing for me, so I'll get rid of this squishy tape, and that'll hold that more stable. But I'm kind of just got it set up for the video. You know, sometimes I set this stuff up just so I can do the video, and then I'll go back and actually dial it in and get it, you know, exactly 90 degrees or exactly in the right spot. So I got my laser set up there. I got it running across the top to the firewall. The firewall, I have the center marked out already. And then I also measure from B-pillar to B-pillar to get my center. So I'm centered from B-pillar to B-pillar, okay, with the laser, and I'm centered at the firewall. So I know my laser's nice and straight down the car. And then basically I can measure from plate to plate to the laser, and I know that it's also in the center. And then it so happens to be that the distance from here to here is the same as well. So that really just tells me that the laser's nice and straight down the center, because the laser's in the center of the 2 sides down here, the 2 B-pillars, and the firewall. So I know my laser's down the straight of the car, and then it tells me that these are also in the center as well. So got the laser alignment. I'm pulling measurements all over the car to make sure these are straight. I'm setting them up at 90 degrees so that they're perpendicular to the chassis as well, because I have my chassis level. So we leveled the chassis, you know, a long time ago. So these plates are level with the chassis. This is centered. These are straight this way. They got the threaded rod holding them this way. So really they should be dialed in. It's a lot of tweaking and double checking to make sure that these things are correct. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to pull these back out of the car. I'll cut these zip ties, lift them back out of the car. I do have some more welding to do. I haven't been able to go get my argon filled, unfortunately. Hopefully I can do it in the next couple days. But I got some more welding to do. I got these inner spacers here. These are just kind of like little stabilizer spacers. The rear ones have the same deal. So those got to go in there. And then my 1 5/8" chromoly for the upper bar will be here, I think Friday. So there's an 1 5/8" bar that goes from there to there to keep this stable as well. And then off the like main hoop, there'll be some bars that come down to it as well. And then back here, I'll probably come out and then down to this guy here, or come out and up to the main hoop. I haven't really decided how I'm going to come out of this one yet, but I'll come out of here with a brace as well. That'll either come down to here or up here or both. I'm not really sure. Because this thing right here is, you know, going to take the brunt of the car going down the track. You know, picking the wheels up, tire shake, you name it, it's going to take the brunt of all that. So I'm actually going to make some plates, which I have over here. All right, so I got some 1/8" plate, and then this plate will, let me move my magnet here. This plate will go along the back side here, weld down to the number 1 bar, and then roll around the back. So the whole back of this will be plated, and that will stabilize that. And then also off the back of here, I'll probably have some braces as well. So I'll probably have a straight brace that comes off somewhere in here, right to that number 15 bar that goes across. So the 10 main hoop will have that 15 bar, and then I'll have a bar that comes off the back of this plate here to that. So really, there's a lot of structural tie-in, a lot of bracing for those plates that will get done. Again, just I think these were 1 1/8". So I wanted some overlap, but not too much overlap. So when I weld that in, it's nice and flush. Again, just because people are always curious how I cut stuff and how I do things. I left this set up. So this is how I cut those strips. So I just measured my 1 1/8", and then another inch past that. And I clamped this bar down at that inch line. So if I move this metal, you can see the inch line right there. And then I just use a Ryobi, a little 5 1/4, I think, or 5 3/8. And then this blade is from Harbor Freight. It's a metal cutting blade by Hercules, I think. And it's pretty solid. You know, I cut through 1/8", I cut through chromoly, I cut through 120 wall. I've even cut through 1/4 inch with it. Somewhere. Yeah, 1/4 inch right here. So I cut through some thick 1/4 inch. It's a good, easy way to do stuff like this. I could run it through the bandsaw, but unfortunately the bandsaw has only got so much depth here. So that little guy there is definitely the winner. And then to clean it, normally I clean stuff with this, but little strips like this, it's super easy to just use my Scotch-Brite wheel and my belt sander, and I just run it along the bottom like that a bunch of times. And it gives it a nice little polish and deburrs it at the same time. So these will be coming back out. Those will be getting welded. The little braces will be getting welded. The upper bar will be getting welded in. And then once all that stuff's welded in, then I'll put it back in the car, tack it to the number 1 bar, and actually get it in the car. And then from there, I can make some mock-up 4-link bars. I may just buy the heim joints and rod ends and stuff like that and actually make 4-link bars. I haven't really decided yet if I'm going to allot money in that direction, you know, because for me, it's about spending the money like where I can keep progressing as well. So there's a lot of options, a lot of stuff going on. Just a quick little update. I'm going to leave this video short, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.